Kia ora koutou. No mai hara mai. Welcome to the Let's Talk podcast. It's been a while since we've been on, but whether you're watching via Facebook or YouTube, we appreciate your viewership tonight. Quite a bit to get through, but before we get on to introducing our guest, let's just check in with everyone. Eddie, back in the co-host seat after a bit of time away looking after yourself. How you been?
I've been good.
Yep, nice. I see that they didn't put any vocabulary back into you.
No.
Yeah, but things have obviously been better, but good,
Good.
at the same time.
Yes, definitely.
And any updates you want to provide, or
And like
whatever you're comfortable with,
um
or shall we just keep to the basics?
yeah.
All right. Well, surgery went well. They successfully took the kidney out, which was the main issue. But everything in terms of the recovery out of hospital has been really good. She's been really good. She got home maybe a week later,
10 days later.
10 days later, so just over a week. And it's been a bit of a. Well, actually, no, I won't say it's been tough.
I was in hospital for 10 days, sorry.
In the hospital for 10 days, so under a week from surgery to getting home. Which was really good. So you got home, and I think after maybe 1 or 2 days, you're back up on your feet.
Yeah, but it was still hard though.
Yeah, it's getting boring too, wasn't it?
Yeah, still is because I'm home all the time.
Yeah, but with me.
No. I'm basically home by myself.
Okay, well, anyway, it's fun times here in this household. But yeah, there's obviously still a bit of a way to go, and there's things that need to take place. So we'll hopefully get through all of that and be on our way to a happy ending. So anyway, in terms of what's happening here, I just got back from New Zealand last week, so had to fly back to attend a cousin's funeral. And yeah, it was actually, although a sad time, was a good time too, because although we sadly lost a cousin, which we'll talk about shortly, we also managed to reconnect, or connect, I should say, to some. And that in itself was a really good thing. And yeah, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts? What, you going back to New Zealand?
No. We all know what you all think of that. Especially our producer behind the screen there. So she had a lot to say before I left, and when I was over there.
No, yeah, she said a lot like us, but that's okay. You went on behalf of all of us. That's good.
Yeah, well, me and FOMO, but anyway.
Yeah, I had FOMO too. If I could have gone, I would have, but I couldn't.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Having gone, it would have been actually really good to have everyone back over there for the same reasons that we're going to explore soon. But yeah, other than that, not much else happening in this household. Everything's kind of normal. I do want to say, because I forgot to say it on the day, but happy 40th birthday to our cousin Dennis. He celebrated his 40th birthday while we were back there. So to the cousin, happy birthday. It's another one in 40, and Becca's not too far away.
I just realized he's 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that from the photos, we couldn't get up there. But from the photos that we saw and the videos, it looked like he had a really good time. So big shout out to Sharon and the whānau for everything that they did to put that party together.
That was a good key.
Yeah.
I like that key. That was nice.
Was that like the Bombers colours?
I don't know, but then it's Untouchables on it.
Okay, so a bit of both.
Yeah, basically both teams. But it was still good though. Yeah, it was nice.
Had the photo of photos or pictures of Tepaya in it instead of a photo of Dennis, which I thought was a really nice touch.
That was really nice.
And then obviously Friday just gone was the second anniversary of the passing of my father-in-law. So we got to take my partner Chantel out for a bit of lunch, just a bit of time to get out of the house. Nothing too special, but I think the most special part for her, I guess, was dressing our daughter in the dragon's clothes that she had on. And for those who follow me on Facebook would have seen there how cute she looked, only just for one night. So once a year, will she be able to wear those dragon's colors?
I'd prefer her in those colors than a Cowboys one at the moment.
Well, yeah. Well, I would. Yeah, given how they played it last night, yeah, probably would have said the same thing. But anyway, not
So
to be.
cute.
So yeah, that's obviously been weighing on Chantel's mind, and her mum she has her birthday tomorrow. So although sad times, some really happy times at the same time coming up. So yeah, shall we move on?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's introduce our guest for today's show. So when I spoke earlier about connecting and reconnecting with people, this person we were able to connect with after so long. Sad again that it was something so sad that brought us together, but I learned a lot about her in our multiple drives to the liquor shop and Wendy's. But then we also got to spend a bit of time after it and got to play some cards, which I'm sure we'll talk through. But introducing our cousin Ruth, all the way from Aotearoa, joining us on the show. Kia ora, Ruth.
Tēnā kōrua. Good evening. I don't know. Is it evening? Yeah, it's evening there today. Yep. Hi.
Well, yep. It's PM. Well, Ruth, for those who don't know who you are, would you care to tell us a bit about yourself?
Mm-hmm. Well, tēnā kōrua, tēnā koutou e mātaki ana. Ko Ruth Clarke tōku ringoa, ki te taho tōku māma huri au no Waikato, parehaura ki Ngāti Whātua ki Ōrākei. Engari ki te taho tōku pāpā, he whanaunga tātou. So yeah, my name is Ruth, Māori, obviously. And on my nan's side, we're from Waikato, Parehauraki and Ōrākei. And then on my dad's side, which is why I'm here, is, we are fans. Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know how within the first 1 minute of you being on, we both were looking like,
I understood part of what she was saying.
Well, no, I guess that was a bit of jealousy there. Like, well, I wish I could do that.
You can still.
Well, I can, but
Didn't you used to do it in high school? No.
No, I did it in intermediate. Sylvia Park.
You still? Oh.
So it's just a little bit. But anyway, yeah. So cause Ruth is related to us on our dad's side. She's our first cousin, and second eldest child. We learnt while we were back there to one Eric Rameka, Becca's favorite uncle. So. Well, he was going.
Well, actually, she's his favorite, isn't she?
Yes, her and Crystal.
Yeah, see, and Crystal's Auntie Cass.
Yeah. Not that we're all about playing favorites or anything like that,
but she posted it on Facebook, so
yeah, that's true. But Crystal's doing really well actually, and well, she was supposed to join us tonight, but she's away on the trip. I think she might have had a little bit of liquid courage in her last night for saying that she wanted to jump on, and now back to reality.
Yeah.
And
what did she was drinking last night? Eh? Yeah.
Well, all you drinkers out there. But yeah, so Ruth is related to us on our dad's side. Prior to let me recap. So the reason why I went over to New Zealand is our first cousin Jamie, who is Ruth's brother, passed away by suicide, which we'll get to. So then when I arrived to New Zealand on, where did I go?
You got there on the Wednesday night.
On the Wednesday after being diverted to Christchurch for a bit. I arrived to the house on Thursday to did a bit of work in terms of getting some vegetables on and into the cookers and stuff like that. And I finally walked into where Jamie was laying, and I see this lady just sitting there, and I'm like, oh, who are all these people? Do I have to be reacquainted? And then so no one introduced her to me. So I kind of just got given the guitar and said, "Hey, play some songs and we'll sing." So we played the same song 3 times because it's my favorite song. I love it.
Probably the only song you can play.
No.
Who finished?
Yeah, 4 chords, plenty songs. And then it wasn't until I guess everyone started turning up for the funeral itself that I finally clicked and got told who you were, and then the rest is history. So when I say connect, I literally mean connect because I think it's literally the first time that we would have met as in this at this point anyway. I'm not sure if our paths crossed early, which I think we'll get to. But yeah, what did you make of everything last week?
Everything or that in particular?
Oh, everything in general.
Okay.
I mean, let's start with the obvious about what I've just mentioned there. But yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it was a sad time, and it wasn't, the most happiest reason to be together. But at the end of the day, I did walk away. I don't mean to sound like the long lost child, but I did walk away feeling for the first time that I had connected with my family. And that's one thing that I'll always be grateful for. And it's probably my reason for saying yes. Like normal families would just call each other. That's how you get to know each other. But you offered to come on to this podcast, and I thought, well, if I'm going to stay true to my word in terms of keeping connected, this could be one of them. So thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me on. And yeah, I loved getting to know everyone. Some of them I did know of, and some of them I knew. But yeah, you were one of the ones that I hadn't met yet. And I was the same. The only reason why I knew who you were was because I knew that there was a brother turning up, and then we were waiting for that brother to play the guitar. So when you turned up, that's why I was like, oh, this must be the guy we've been waiting for. And because it was the last day that day, and I had been reintroducing myself to everyone, I was like, you know what, you don't have to do the awkward thing again. But yeah, so I'm very grateful. If there's anything that I can take away from that week, is I'm just grateful to finally feel comfortable enough to get to know my family. It was a very big wake-up call for me personally. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously there was quite a few things that kind of happened over all those days. As we just excuse Edna for a bit as she tends to to my daughter. But yeah, there was it was a big eye opener because from what I took away from it to start off with, after kind of thinking and reflecting, we're quite connected with my mum's side of the family, and well, my sisters are me not so much, and then. Well, actually, no, we are. But I mean, my sisters they're social butterflies. So to be able to connect with my dad's side of the family on a different level to what we're used to was a really nice feeling, and to obviously put names to faces and then to have those conversations was really nice too. And we'll pick up on that again. But what I wanted to kind of explore before we get on to talking about Alfano, because it is quite vast, mainly because you're dad. But what I wanted to explore, or I guess mention, is obviously our cousin and your brother. In order to get to the point where he did, there was quite a few troubles that he was kind of facing, which led to his eventual downturn, which I think, as a whole, us as people these days are so, I guess, scared to talk about it. Where I think what we shouldn't be, and the more we talk about it, the less risk there is to people doing and committing that sort of act. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Can I just start by saying, and we'll probably get into it in terms of the family side of things. So I didn't have a close relationship with or anyone on my dad's family, really. And so I think personally getting that call, and I remember I talked to you about it as well, getting that call was kind of like I didn't know how to react in terms of, like, obviously I knew I was to be sad, but it was almost like I didn't deserve to kind of grieve because I wasn't ever there. And so thinking about what his situation, like I kind of know of his situations and stuff like that. And he had kind of reached out earlier, but, and this is not something that even people that know me well know, but I've also struggled with things like that too. And this is not why I came on this podcast. But and so yeah, and then experiencing it on the other side, like you just never want to have to go through that, or want to put people through that as well. And I think, like, in that split second, like, we just forget how much you are loved, because obviously at the time you don't feel, or I don't know, I can't speak for them, but it's almost like, if only you knew how many people loved you, and whatever you were thinking and whatever was your last thoughts, like, not disrespecting the choices, but you were wrong. Like, there were so many people that were there. And yeah, it does suck when you do kind of go through that. And I remember the funniest thing was the best advice I ever got, and it wasn't anything like amazing, but it was just I remember my one close friend said to me, like, only you can decide for you, and only you can get yourself out of it. And I remember that, because no matter how much people love you, and no matter how much people are there and care for you, like, at the end of the day, you have to know your kind of self-worth as well. And yeah, it's sad when you don't feel that way. And it's hard to comment on, because I can't say that I was there for them. And so I would not be able to say what would have brought them to that. But when you yeah, it's just like, you actually, if you ever are thinking that way, you probably are way more loved than you realize. And it's quite isolating as well. And so it's just really sad, and it really hurts.
Yeah, I remember going through something similar when I was younger, and if I can pick up on how I kind of got out of it, it was because I think in those moments you don't realize, like, there's no way of you seeing, because you're so fixated on something not being there, that you shut your eyes off to what's obvious and what is there. So when you start to open your eyes, as I did, you can realize how many people are around you to support you and to assist you in getting through all of that kind of stuff. I don't think there's any right way, or any wrong way, I should say, of trying to work through all of that. But the best way, I believe, is by simply talking about it, or not being afraid to talk about it. And the one thing that I didn't do early on in the stages when I was kind of going through all of that was talk about it freely. And also on top of that, once I did, I got opened up to a whole lot of different support networks. I'm not sure if they're still around to these days, but I remember texting some random person, from an organization that helped you, and they'll just reply and just ask, "Are you okay?" And you don't realize how much that helps someone get through something. Is just those simple, 3 words is, "Are you okay?" So, I mean, I don't know if you both had similar kind of, I guess, experience with it all. But it makes you think, doesn't it? It makes you think about what kind of drives it all, and as I just can't imagine that happening, and when it did, it just broke us down real bad. No. Goodness me. So yeah, I don't know whether you guys have had kind of similar experiences at all, but yeah, like I said, I mean, it's okay to talk about it, and that's anything, regardless of what you're going through. Just reach out to someone, because although one person might not respond, there might be, out of 10 people, there might just be that one person who does, and ultimately that one person can save a life. And hopefully, if anyone watching who may struggle through it, if you just don't give up on just that one person, keep moving on, move on to the other 100 people in your contact list.
I think so too. And I think, well, especially for me, coming from like a Christian family and from a church as well, like it isn't something that we talk about or that we take seriously. And it also, for the person going through it, it's almost like a bit of like a shame, the fact that you're going through it as well. But when you realize that actually a lot of people, we all struggle, and you look at from the outside looking in, everything always looks better on the other side, but a lot of just being able to talk normally about it, I think helps as well. And I remember for me, having friends that just treated you like you were normal, or would just do the mundane things with you, just keeping things. But yes, definitely I agree with the talking about it thing. I would say that would definitely help us all.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I haven't been through anything like that personally, but I do have a few friends that have thought about it a lot. But yeah, just to open up about it, talk about it, or even what I'm going through now, I actually write down how I'm feeling, which has helped me a lot, because when I talk about stuff to anybody, I actually get very emotional. So I think it's a better way for me is to write, which I'm happy I can do.
Yeah, and although I guess both your circumstances are different, I think the messaging is still the same around being okay to talk about it. And like you said, finding ways to help you cope. And like you said, you're doing some writing and all that kind of stuff. So you just tell me what book it is, and I can go find it.
That's why it's hidden in the book or my phone.
Yeah,
So.
but like I said to you at lunch the other day, it's okay to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. And again, to anyone who is going through anything similar, I think that's probably one of the better pieces of advice we can all give is don't be afraid to talk about it all. So we're just going to relieve my daughter here for a second.
Does she want a piece of chocolate?
Anyway,
Is someone calling already?
No, but while we are on that whole thing about calling, so if you are watching and you would like to be a part of any kind of discussion, we're not limited to topics. There is any, if you want to raise anything, I know there's quite a few issues going on around the world. Or is there a question you have for anyone on the panel tonight? All you've got to do is call this number. On the screen there, so 0424 433 653 if you are in New Zealand and you have credit. It is +61 424 433 653. So just use the national code +61 if you are in New Zealand. So yeah, if there's anything that you want to talk about, please feel free to call in. We'll get you online with us and we'll have a chat. Otherwise, if we can move on to the topic, I guess that brings us kind of both together, and that's our links with our family. And,
Yay! I'm kidding. Sorry. There's a lot of family.
It's been my favorite topic over the last week because obviously we started a group chat, and although some people left it,
Sorry.
Apologies, by the way. There was no incentive of making you guys feel left out. I'm not sorry if you did that.
Well, I did tell Mohi why I did leave, and he still got angry at me.
No, so normally when you're planning to do a joke, you tell them first, or you tell someone first.
Kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, you tell someone first and then do your joke so that everyone's like, jokes. Not just poke the fingers in the group chat and then gap it. Like that's
That's a family chat. That's what that is. That's a family chat.
Oh my gosh.
Oh well, it is yeah. Well, it is a group chat and it's a family chat and that's pretty normal. But in saying that, when you're very limited to having any part of the conversation and all you do is poke the fingers and gap it, like, are you serious? Alison Anderson, what's the number? Andrew Wilson wants to call in, so we'll put the number out for you again in a second. So if you do want to call through, 0424 433 653 is the number. There'll be a small wait in terms of kind of getting that. It is something we're trying with this whole podcasting thing, but I appreciate your viewership firstly. But yeah, I mean, you know what? Looking back at that group chat, that was the sign of a really good time had.
You know what though? The way you did it though is that you said Auntie wanted you to make that chat. Let alone she rung us, me, Jackie, and Harmony, and goes, I didn't ask him to do that.
Yeah, okay, no. So she's lying. What she did say was that it would be good to have a cousins group chat. Whether she asked for it or didn't, the insinuation is that it was there. So I think it's been a good thing. So what we'll do, we'll take a break from that particular subject at the moment because we do have a caller on with us. Hello.
Gotta put on speaker.
Oh, hold on. Technical difficulties. Hello.
Moe.
Hello. How you going?
Can you hear me?
I can. What's happening?
It's Andrew. How you going?
Good, brother, you?
Good. I just wanted to say that you guys are doing a good job. I've been watching every week. Maybe not live every time, but I've been watching them. And I would like to give a shout out to Alison because it's her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Alison. What are you doing? Yeah. What are you guys doing? What did you do for her?
I bought a camper, so we've gone up the coast for the weekend, and we're just at the bowling club for dinner.
Oh, good old bowling club.
Nice.
We played barefoot bowls with the kids, but that was a nightmare. It was a nightmare, I'm telling you.
Did Lily
too
win?
Many? No, they didn't. She couldn't even roll the ball. But too many kids, they just muck up. That's what it is.
Look, did they leave the green all nice and pretty?
Yeah, and then they were running around and they got us booted off as well. So that was fun. I haven't been kicked off anything for a while, so.
Yeah, well, happy birthday, Alison. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Sounds like you did, apart from the being kicked off.
She's been yelling at me because I'm obviously telling the kids to pull their heads in and that doesn't work, so. Yeah, that is what it is. You know what it's like, mate. You've got kids.
Yeah, well, and because it's her birthday, you can't even say anything back.
Exactly right, yeah. Exactly right.
But tomorrow's another day.
Yeah, and the Monday's fine. I'll give it to her on Monday.
But how have they been otherwise?
No, pretty good, mate. Everything's going well. Work's good. Kids are good. They started a new school and stuff, but everything else is really good, you know.
Nice. Well, for those who don't know who Andrew is, Andrew I met through softball. Was it 2 years ago now?
Yeah, maybe 2, maybe 3. I don't know, 2 or 3.
Yeah. So Andrew and I play in the same softball team in the summertime. Just a bunch of dads playing, and going to the B grade men's final.
Yeah, we win 2 games a year, the
yeah.
semi-final and the final.
Yeah. Well, we did win a couple more than usual last year.
We lost the final this year, but so anyway.
Well, we gave it a good go. We gave it a good go.
Yeah, we had a crack.
At the district's presentation on Friday yesterday.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
But in terms of who Andrew is, nicest guy in the whole world. Glad that I met him. Actually, probably one of the more genuine people I know.
Oh, I've been through a lot, mate. When you've gone through a lot, sometimes you just have to stop being a bullshitter.
I've heard stories. I've heard stories, but you know we'll keep those stories in the past.
Yeah, if we met 15 years ago, you wouldn't be saying the same thing. That's for sure.
Well, I'm glad I didn't because. But in saying that too, I mean, congratulations. I don't know if it's public. I don't know if I'm allowed to say anything, but congratulations. You'll be playing at Nationals, over 35s Nationals in a couple of months.
Yeah, in the country team, yeah.
In the country team, so well done.
You're going to watch?
Yeah.
I'll go and watch a couple of games.
I will.
I heard you were coaching. Not this year.
No comments.
No, the team hasn't been announced yet, and we don't know what the coaches stuff is. We don't know what the staff is at the moment. So.
Yeah, I mean, but it is. But in saying it, I mean, I was always, as soon as you kind of played and you made the squad, was really happy for you then, and then to obviously get the opportunity to still go and play nationals. I mean, last year was your first time in a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, since I was a kid, yeah.
Yeah, and even then you did well, and you made your presence known.
Yeah, we've been playing okay in the last year or so.
Oh,
hadn't played for 10 years, and then the first season I played was when I met you. So
yeah, for those who obviously again don't know who Andrew is, and I hope I don't sound too rude when I say this, but he's a big guy, you know.
Yeah, he's a fat dude. Yeah, about $1.50 easily $1.50.
Yeah. But in saying that, really quick. You saw him run the bases?
Yeah.
I don't even run that quick. But again, I'm also.
I wouldn't say I'm quick. I'm quick for a fat guy. I'm still a little bit. I'm still agile enough, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. So you
but that's what happens when you chase all these kids around there.
Well, I don't know. Mum does that here. But again, congratulations for making the country team, and hope you. Oh, I know you'll do well. So I'm not going to hope. I know you'll represent yourself and everyone well, and I'll be there to hopefully watch a couple of games of your guys, and we cheer you on from the sideline.
No, mate, appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. But I would like to say congratulations for getting this up off the ground and doing quite well. So I think you're doing quite well. Like I said, I've been watching every week. Not every time live, but I watch the replays on the Monday while I'm driving. Let's not say watch. Let's listen. I listen to it on the Monday. So.
Well, now you'll be able to hear yourself on one episode. So.
I'll skip that part of it anyway.
No, thank you.
All good, mate.
All good, brother.
Thanks for letting me call in. I'll talk to you soon.
Will do.
Bye-bye.
See you, mate. See, and that is just a sign of the awesome people that we have in our community who not only watch, but just genuine people that we know. And Andrew is definitely one of those. And is Ellison. I saw her at the rugby field a couple of weeks back when her daughter was carving up on the on the field, scoring plenty tries. I think you were in hospital. That was before your surgery.
Okay.
So yeah. A big shout out to Alice. Happy birthday again. And a big shout out to Andrew and the family. But going back to our conversation, I'm sorry to cut you. So I was just trying to get over the stresses of Edna talking about this group chat. But yeah, in terms of family connection, what have you kind of taken away from everything that you kind of experienced over that week in terms of being around everyone? How did you feel as someone who was coming into it for the very first time?
Yeah, it was the first time I had spent, I would say, longer. I think the only other time I've spent time with the family would have been at my dad's 50th, I think. But 2000 maybe 19-ish, I think. 2020-ish. Yeah, around those times. So I actually met my dad for the first time. Apparently, I thought it was when I was fourth form, but my brother was saying it was probably around when I was third form. So for those of you who are too young, that means first year in high school. Third form is first year in high school. So when I was born, I didn't have a relationship with my dad. That was my mom's choice. So I was raised by my nan for most of it. And then when I was about 7, my mom became a Christian, and then we had moved back home. And so we had went to like a poly fest, and my auntie had kind of said to my mom, like, oh, can you see who's over there? Anyway, so a week later, my mom had said to me, oh, did you see the man that I was talking to? And I was like, no. And she goes, oh, well, that's your dad, and he'd like to meet you. So I was like, okay. So I met him in Mangere Township or something. And at that time, he had the 2 boys. Are we naming names? I don't know if we're naming names.
Yeah, of course.
You are. You've been dropping them. But yeah, so then at that time, he had my brothers, Jamie and Eric. And I think Jamie might have just started school, and Eric was not at school yet. And so I would have been like 13, 14. And I already had 2 annoying brothers. So now I had 4. And we kind of were in each other's lives for maybe about like a year, I think. I thought it was less, but my brother said it was longer. So, and then after that, due to my relationship with my dad, I disconnected from the family in general. And like how you said, like you're very close with your mum's side of the family. Well, you said your sisters were. I'm quite the same because I was raised by my grandparents. So my mum's siblings to me are I love them like they were my siblings as well. So I'm very close to my nan's side. So coming to the funeral, I already felt bad enough turning up to your brother's funeral and everyone else knows him better than you. Which is I'm not mad about. I'm actually happy. I'm glad, and I was happy for everyone else. But I felt like a loser pretty much because it was like, ugh, you know. And for the siblings that I don't know of, like I can't handle, like I can't change that. But I actually did know them, not well, but I knew them, and it was definitely a wake up call in terms of my relationship with my family. But the longer I spent there, the more I kind of fell in love with them. Well, with you all, I think. And I just was really convicted in terms of, like, I can't make those excuses anymore. Like when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. Okay, yes, I was a hurt little teenager who didn't have a good relationship with her dad. That's fair enough. But I'm a grown adult now. And so is the rest of my family, unfortunately. And instead of continuing that cycle, actually breaking it and wanting to have a proper relationship with them. So it was funny because, like I said earlier, I was expecting to come in and just work behind the scenes. Like, no one know you, just do the mahi and that's it. But instead, I was kind of welcomed in. And so therefore, every person that came in that mourned for him, I felt. Every story that was shared, I heard. And it was funny because I would look to the side and I felt like sometimes I was like, you're enjoying this, aren't you? You're enjoying this. And you know that this is really hard for me to sit here knowing what my relationship ended at the time. And so, yeah, and just seeing the love that they had for my brothers, like I have so much respect for my brother's mom and their family. And even for like I said, my mom's siblings, I'm very close with them and I love them. And so being with like your dad and Auntie Kath and Uncle Karen and Uncle Rob, I'm not a drinker and I don't hang out with people that drink as well. So when I stayed on that Thursday night, that I knew that meant a lot to me. And the reason why I stayed was because I knew that Uncle Karen and Uncle Rob were coming back. And I was like, I can't miss this opportunity. And then in the end, I ended up hanging out more with Mohi because we did all the By the way, I wasn't in the store. I was just driving them to the Wendy's, okay? But yeah, I just have so much respect for the family, and like just realizing how, even though I didn't know you guys growing up, we actually quite are a lot similar in different ways. Like I know it was so random, but we went to go get a burger and I said, "Oh, can I have it plain?" And he goes, "Oh, you get that from outside." And I was like, "Oh, that's nice to know because everyone thinks I'm weird." But like just like little things and just making those connections, and especially with my siblings as well, wanting to do better, I think. Yeah. So whether you want me or not, guess who's back?
Well, it's like I said to you. I think I might have said it to you that you're stuck with us, or I think you might have said it to us and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, because like when we were growing up, we spent quite a bit of time with Jamie and Eric as kids because they would either come over to our house, and be amongst us, or we would go over to their dads or to your dads, and be amongst them, or we'd be at Auntie Kath's or our nan's house at the time. So we spent quite a bit of time together as kids. Obviously, there was that long break in between where we kind of all grew up and went our separate ways. And that all happened for different reasons and stuff like that. But when we were talking to Eric at the funeral, he had memories of us going camping and stuff like that. And I think upon reflection, I might have got our timing wrong in terms of where I think that was, because I can't quite remember whether we went up north. I said it was Topol, but Dad doesn't seem to think that they were there, and it was a different time.
No, I think we did go camping, but I think it's a different time to when we went with them.
Yeah, okay, maybe different. All right.
Yeah.
Well, there was all those stories being told, and I'm sure it might have been a little kind of like, oh, I don't have any of these stories to tell, and so there might have been a whole bit of learning for you. Yeah, I get it, Becca. Yep, they didn't go to Topol. Yep, yep, that's what we just said. But there was it definitely would have been weird for you. But yeah, when we were in that McDonald's drive-through, and you said plain burger, and like that's literally what she does.
That's me.
Yeah.
It's what I used to do. It's what I used to do. My daughter does it now, and so it's definitely something that you get from this side. You're not a weirdo. You're just a Raumika. So. But yeah, I mean, well, what do you remember about the whole growing up thing? Nice. Good insight, Edna.
I actually don't remember much, to be honest, because like when we're around that, I don't really remember anything because we were always at sports mainly. So when we seen them, I think it was like I was a lot younger when we were hanging out, but yeah, we were always at sports mainly every weekend, basically every day.
Well, I think it was different for you too, because being the youngest at the time, I think you would have spent quite a bit of time around Mum and Dad, if I can remember. I don't know, Becca might know more than we do. But we definitely spent quite a bit of time around Auntie Kath.
Yeah.
And then obviously that's where Eric and Jamie were, Crystal, Paulie at the time as well. And that was good to see Paulie too. How good a job did he do? During that whole funeral too. So big shout out to Cuzzy Paulie.
You know what? I don't think I've met him.
Who?
Paulie.
No, you did.
When?
You did.
When?
You did. But I don't. It's that long ago. I don't think you would have remembered, but you did.
Okay.
What about when Harmony and Crystal walked from house to Nan's house in Garris Ave, and no one knew till Nan rang? They did that a lot, didn't they?
I think so, yeah. Because I think wasn't I mainly at Nan's house?
I'm not too sure, but I know we spent. I know we spent a lot of time with Nan, Auntie Kath, and Uncle Karina too. And his bloody egg yolk on fish and chips. I'm like, yeah. Like, I don't know who does that. I'm pretty sure. Can anyone confirm whether he still does that?
Probably not.
Oh, I think he would. Yeah.
No, I don't think he'll do it now. Would he?
Yeah, I think he would. But to give everyone a bit of insight, so for those who aren't aware too much of our families, so from what connects us, so my dad is the eldest child of Nan Violet. Then it's Uncle Eric. Then it's Uncle Karina. And then, from the Ramaka side. And then there's Uncle Rob and Auntie Kath, who was Stevens. So our dad's the oldest, then Uncle Eric, which is Ruth's dad. And then I lose it after that. But anyway.
Because they all have too many.
well, well, actually, hold on, Ruth. See if you can answer this question. How many siblings do you have?
So, the last time growing up, I knew of the two boys and the older sister. And then when I was about like 20 something, I met the two of them. And then at the 50th, there was only 8. And then I come back to the funeral like 5 years later, and there's 12. So I can say them. It goes Nga, and then me, and then Jamie, and then Eric, and then Taiko, who I met for the first time at the funeral.
Yep.
Anahera and Hideri. And then these two I don't know. I think there's like a Tainui and a something. Sorry, I don't mean to say that like that. So there's 2 other siblings.
That's
and
okay.
then there
We
were
said it the exact same way.
sorry, they're gonna be like, who is that girl? And then apparently there were a few miscarriages. So altogether, there are 10 people on this earth that are siblings that don't know each other, and they all come from Mohi's uncle. Yeah.
No,
I like that. Mohi's uncle.
Let's get it right. Becca's uncle.
I'm kidding.
I like that one.
Becca and Crystal's uncle.
True. Yeah, we'll just pick on her because she didn't come. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, there's 12 with some overseas. And then for my dad, there's 5. So, just between 2, we're already reaching 17. And then Uncle Karina, I think, has Crystal.
I think doesn't he have 2 or 3 more?
Who did I meet at the funeral? Hey?
Was there 3 other, like, not Crystal, but then, like, was there 3 other kids that came?
I think there was 4.
Oh, yeah, 4.
Christina, Aotearoha.
Becca's saying 8. Who's got 8?
Maybe Uncle Karina. So look, we'll just take 8. So that's already 25. Like,
oh my god, that's only from 3.
Oh, we haven't added Uncle Rob's in there yet.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what 25, and that's only 3. So our dad, Uncle Eric, and Uncle Karina.
Yeah, and I think maybe 20, 23, 24.
Oh my gosh,
between the 3 of them.
Wow. And then how many does Uncle Rob have?
Uncle Rob has Paulie's the oldest, then Ruby, then there's Alana, then Kiriyama, Tai, Keisha. So 6, I think, but then Paulie doesn't count because he's an only child. So yeah, I mean, and then obviously Nakia being Auntie Kath only, but then in saying that, Auntie Kath raised pretty much Crystal, Harmony, Paulie. So yeah, I think we're getting up there. I think we're close to about the 30 mark in terms of our direct cousins just on our dad's side.
Damn, that's a lot.
Yeah, so I mean, back then there wasn't any computers or PlayStations, and
there was computers, just not what they're like now.
I remember there was one in our garage, and all it did was just show green. That's all I remember it doing back when we were in, I think, Garris Ave, once we lived in there. But Harmony says, "Oh no, actually, we walked to the shops by Southern Cross. They used to have spaces upstairs, and we didn't want to wait around for him, so he told us to go home, and we were like, nah, we're going to walk to Nana's house." Well,
Wait, was Gareth as the house that was by Southern Cross, up the hill?
up the hill.
Oh,
Yeah, the one Nan lived in first, and then we lived in.
yeah.
Because we were at Lytham Lane when Nan was at Gareth Ave, which is the one that was by the field and that new park that was being built.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was pretty easy to get from our house to Nan's house at the time. Yeah, but do you like? I know that I know it's kind of rude us kind of sitting here and reminiscing on what we remember.
No,
But
it's
from
fine.
your point of view, do you kind of listen to what we're talking about and maybe look back at it and think, I wish?
So I agreed with my mom's. I agree with my mom's decision in terms of thing, but I do realize that because of that I missed out. I also see it like there are things that I didn't have to endure as well. But in terms of the family connection, yes. Yeah. I remember going home one night of the funeral and I would like just went home and I was crying to my brother. I was like, they're all talking about stuff and I have no idea what they're talking about. But that wasn't me. Like, I wasn't jealous. I was actually really happy for you. But it was just the fact, like, me realizing, like, okay, you need to now make your own memories. Like, you can't think. So, no, I love hearing.
It's funny. It's funny you said that because literally 2 days after you were making your own memories. All right, over at Dad's, Dad and Beth's apartment.
That
You know
was
what? You know the
fun.
good thing about that night? Yeah, the good thing about that night is it's like nothing. There was nothing on all that time ago. There was just no thought about that.
Yeah.
No, like you met our sister Emma that night, and Leighton and Charlie, and obviously Leighton. You know, by the time that night ended, she was, you guys are
She
pretty
gave me
close
2
too.
hugs. She gave me 2 hugs.
Well, that's pretty good.
That's good because when I was there, I got none.
That's because she didn't try to kill you. That's why. In a game. You see in a game.
Yeah, well, that night was pretty good. I think we played Mafia. For anyone who knows the card game Mafia, it got quite intense at some points. Largely because of the Undertaker. Oh, I mean Keisha. But in that moment, being there amongst everyone, and I know it was largely Uncle Rob's kids. But what did that feel like for you?
That was real fun. I remember, like, on the last day, on the Thursday, like, we had just gone to the bridge and we had come back. And then you guys were talking. I was like, oh, yeah. So is that your guys' something, like some family member? And then Crystal turned around to me and goes, stop talking like it's not your family. That's your family too. I was like, oh, yeah, true. But no, it was fun. And even like how I said, I'm really close to my mum's siblings. And so going to your dad's house, being in his whare and like being with his children, like that really meant a lot to me. And you're right, like it was like there was no, you wouldn't have noticed that we didn't know each other, if that makes sense. And I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, that was fun. And I hope to do that more often.
Yeah, maybe.
Is that the night you sent that photo of that I thought Becca was sleeping?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she got killed in the game. So either that or she was lying down playing the pokies on her phone. One of those. But yeah, no, that was so cool. I mean, and for those who don't know what the game Mafia is, I'm gonna explain to you because it was quite an eventful night. So you get dealt cards, and there's specific cards that play a certain role. There's 2 mafias who are the killers. There's a card that represents a doctor and a card that represents a sheriff or police officer or detective, whatever. So the whole idea is that everyone's asleep to start off with. They got their eyes closed. The mafia wakes up. They choose someone to kill. Once they choose their person, the detective opens their eyes and they choose someone at random who they think could be one of the killers. So if they get it right, the storyteller tells them that they're right, and they've got to make a case about it all. When the doctor wakes up and they open their eyes, they can choose someone to save. So through all of that, once all that process is done, the storyteller tells a story about how someone got killed or saved, and all that kind of stuff. And I think the part for me that I really liked was being the detective. As soon as I knew who the killer was, I was just sitting back thinking about ways that I could bring this out to the public, and I think that was my calling that night. Would you not agree, Ruth?
I think so. No one could argue. Yeah. You should have been a lawyer.
Well, I did want to be one of those, but then I found McDonald's. But yeah, no, that was that was a really good night, and I think the way we finished it off was Leighton finally got one of the mafia cards, and she made it obvious. She made it obvious it was her, and I was a storyteller, and Becca was the detective. So Becca guessed right, and you could instantly see that Becca's face changed. She's like, "Oh, I don't want to be right." You know, and then like, so I'm telling the story, and Becca's like, instead of accusing Leighton, who she knew it was, she would accuse someone else, or not say anything at all, so that the game could continue. And Leighton first killed someone off, and then Ruth had already known it was her, and they were sitting next to each other. As they were sitting next to each other, and all you hear is like Ruth saying, "Oh, Leighton, you're gonna kill me next," like, which she did. But the whole thing was that Leighton got caught, and Ruth still died. Like,
Actually, no, someone saved me. Who was Keisha saved me? Must have been twice.
Who did save you? I actually might have been Keisha, I think.
Thanks, Keisha.
Yeah, but no, that was a beautiful night, and it was probably a good way to kind of finish off what started as a sad week, but then came back and ended as a really really good night. I know you're looking at me like I wasn't there, so shut your mouth.
No, but I want to know who was the mafia the most.
Nakia.
I think so, yeah, Nakia. I don't think your dad ever got to be a mafia, eh? But he always
That's why in the photo he looks so angry.
No. So let me start this. So the reason why I had heaps of fun playing the detective is because every other time I was dead first.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like everyone, no matter who it was, chose me to die first.
I would have killed him first.
I
too.
didn't.
And instead of as the doctor being the obvious one to save, no. Although when I got the doctor, I'm pretty sure I saved myself the whole game, and then we still lost.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. So, what do you have any kind of ideas on what's next for you guys?
Me?
Oh, both of you.
Oh, me? No, besides appointments.
What about you, Ruth? In terms of kind of keeping those relationships with Farnay?
Well, in general, I'm quite busy, so I'm gonna be MIA for the next couple of months. But yeah, just trying to like keep in contact. So like planning dinners with my siblings and stuff like that. When they're free and when I'm free, that'll be nice. I heard they're going to the Pokai next weekend. That would have been nice.
Oh, your dad's already there.
Are we gonna? I don't know if we should go live on that story, but yeah. But yeah, I think that would have been nice. I would have gone, but I'm out of town. Yeah. Yeah. So just hopefully gonna. What about your dad? Who's dad?
Your dad.
Your dad.
There's no content here.
Oh, she's asking me what about? Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Sorry.
She's leaving that to you, Becca.
But we have talked it out though, and he knows where I stand. And yeah, he knows where I stand, and yeah, we're good as long as Mhm. I don't know if this is PG enough to talk about, but yeah, we're fine. We've talked.
There's no
And-
limits here.
Oh, you know what? I'm just going to say it. I don't care. Look, for those who don't know our uncle, Ruth's dad, so uncle's clearly been through a bit. I'll put it that way. So when things kind of took place over the last week, uncle showed I guess a side that I guess some of his kids weren't used to seeing or being introduced to for the first time. And I think that's probably the nicest way to put it, Ruth. But that's been a long time kind of thing, and I just think it's become a part of, I guess, who he is. And at the end of the day, Becca's still his favorite.
Sometimes we don't even know why either.
No, why what?
How she's the
Becca's my
favorite.
favorite.
Well, I'll paint a picture for you guys, right? So this is how it all happened. So on Thursday, when we were at the funeral, so we were getting there for the first time, and Becca hadn't seen Uncle the night before. And I obviously was getting there for the first time because my plane decided to go a different way. So when we finally got there, I was sitting on the chair playing the guitar, and Becca was by Jamie. And all we see is this Māori wardens walk up the stairs, and he instantly sees Becca. And all you hear is, "My picky," and so like he just, I'm trying to paint the picture. He has to pass me to get to her.
Of course. And you're not hard to miss.
Yeah, I'm not, especially when I'm trying to play a song, and I'm literally in the doorway. So he just gaps it straight for her, and then obviously, that's it. Put me on.
Call, Becca, call.
So he just beamed straight for her, and I'm like, hey, I'm okay with that. I'll just keep playing along. And then he finally finishes his little moment, and then he steps up, looks at me, and goes, "Oh, mohi."
You know what? I can actually see that happen.
Yeah,
Even if like all of us were there, it will still happen.
yeah. Well, sorry, Ruth, you're going to say something?
No, I'm just sticking up for Becca. There is something when you're the oldest, and when you're the first child, for even if it's only 1 year, you do have a connection with your uncles and your aunties that not everyone else has. Whether you want to have that connection, I
We're
don't
okay
know.
with that.
But I'm
You
just
can have those ones.
I'm just here.
But you know who was really nice to see was Uncle Katana.
Yeah, I
Oh.
agree. He's so
I
cute.
loved being around him that night.
Yeah.
Like he was quiet to start off with, like really quiet to start off with, and we did our normal stuff around mocking our uncles because that's what we do. And he took it like a champ. And then when him and Uncle Rob came back and he started drinking, he was a vibe. And I don't normally say that, but he was funny ass. He was a vibe. Like he was just cracking up.
But didn't he used like that's good though because he used to take it to heart
Oh yeah,
when we were
he-
younger.
Oh.
He was bad when we were younger. He was like, I think he was like a little sook, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was a big sook back when.
So for him to like change like that,
But it was different because back then it was coming from Dad. It was coming from his siblings. Whereas now, like
It's
it's
coming
coming
from
from
me.
us, and he can't do anything because we're bigger than him. Like
yeah, he's still small, eh? Like,
he's
Yeah.
tiny, but like he was really good. I enjoyed being around him, and Uncle Rob too. Before he had to go home, but yeah, he was really good to be around, and he didn't tell us he was going to the trains, but it is what it is.
to the where?
You know the Robertson Road trains, the miniature trains that go take you around the field.
Oh, the old rugby field.
Yeah, we're all talking about
Is
going
that
there.
still there?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought they weren't there when we drove
No,
past
they're
the other
still there.
time. Oh,
I'd love to take Ali, or not Lily, back there and play on those. But yeah, they all went there as a family, and
good on them.
yeah, but it was like I said at the beginning. Although it was a sad time, it was a really good time as well. And even Auntie Y, like it'd
Yeah.
been so long, like a long time since we had seen her, and um, I had to kind of double back to realize that it was her. But she was strong as through it all too, and yeah, she did her thing and her family proud too, and you could just tell that she had a lot of strength in her. And like I said, it was a long time since we had seen her before then. But again, just through it all, it just felt like nothing. And although she was probably still waiting for me to play the guitar and for Becca to sing her a song, which we didn't get to. Yeah, it was so good to see her. And yeah, again, big shout out to Auntie Adefano as well. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh no, I'm pretty sure I've got some more in the fridge somewhere. All right, Becca says,
I loved how Uncle Cardinal, he didn't have a phone or anything or a car, but he always still turned up everywhere he was supposed to be. And he just like in the background, I just thought he was the cutest uncle ever. Yeah, he was cool.
I don't know if cutest was the word, but
I don't know if that's a good word to say, but
well, you know what? Like, yeah, you're right. Like he always made sure. Like we don't know how he gets places until we saw his lanyard.
He catches the bus.
Yeah, well, until Becca kept mentioning his lanyard and his card around his neck and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, on the Thursday when we got there, Auntie Kath picked him up, then was taking him home. Then he came back, and we ended up taking him home afterwards about 3 in the morning or something like that. Yeah. I don't. I so like through that week, I couldn't remember anything about the childhood. Well, there were no comparisons that we could make to our childhood when our uncles were around, because it was a bit mixed. But now,
I'm just laughing because someone just sent me a photo and goes, "Guess who's coming, party people?"
Who?
Your nephew.
Who?
Dakota.
Coming where?
He's coming here.
What for? Like,
he flies in on Thursday.
what for?
Wait, is it this? Hold on. I don't know. Maybe he wants to see me.
Where's he staying?
Oh, he literally flies in this Thursday.
Oh, interesting.
I'll pick you up, Dakota. It's okay.
Yeah, I got a bed for you now.
It hasn't even been packed away.
Yeah. He's flying in Thursday for a holiday and to be with his auntie. That's nice. I think that's really nice. I'm only joking, nephew. I'm only joking. Got you. I'm your MC. I know.
The wipes are in my room for baby.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I think we've covered off as much as we could. But is there anything, or is there anyone out there? If we can throw that number up again, if you do want to be a part of the conversation before we sign off for the night,
Becca, go do it. Do it.
it is 04.
Do it, Becca.
0424. The number should pop up shortly. 0424 433 653. If you're my family, you should have it. But if you do want to be a part of the conversation, if there's anything that you want to talk through before we sign off for the night, feel free to give us a call, put you on, have a quick chat. In terms of what's coming up for the podcast, there are things that we're trying to explore. I mean, there are heaps of kind of issues going on around, well, not issues, controversies going on around the Māori Party or Te Pāti Māori currently that we want to explore. There are issues around the government because they're useless. And we can share all those over the coming podcast as well. But again, also on top of that, if there's anything that you guys kind of want us to cover, the whole thing and the good thing about this episode or this podcast is that we don't limit ourselves to talking about nothing. Or we don't try and plan too much into it. I like the whole thing about just having free flowing conversation about anything and everything. So if you do see yourself being a part of this, please reach out. It's an open forum.
Sorry, can you just say what's your number again?
For who? So I'm going to say it one more time. It's a one-time offer now. Again, I'm closing it off. 0424 433 653 if you want to be a part of the conversation. If you are in New Zealand, the national code for Australia is +61 424 433 653. But until, hold on, we do have someone joining us, which we will quickly bring on.
Who is it?
Hello,
What
caller.
happened?
Oh,
Hello, it's me, not the favorite.
this is the one that asked for the number.
Oi. In my defense, it's because I got a different phone,
Okay.
Let's not go
so I
there.
don't have any numbers saved.
Let's not go there about that phone.
Vix, do you also want to
Yeah.
clarify that you're not the scary one?
Oh, I can't hear her.
Or tell the story about how you're the scary one.
Who said she's the scary
Yeah,
one?
wait, I don't understand. Like, how am I the scary one?
I
I
don't-
thought I was the nice
I
one.
don't think anyone's met Jackie yet.
No, hold on. So when Erica was talking to us all, like he told Becca first, and I think me later. But he's like, "Oh yeah, when we were younger, we were scared of you and
Well, scared of
Bex
you
and
and
Mohi."
Mohi.
And
I was quite blown away. I'm like, oh,
she got her feelings hurt, and then she wouldn't let it go all night.
yeah, all night, that whole night. Oh my God, how am I the scary one? I can understand Mohi
Mohi and
or
Jackie.
Jackie.
Mohi and Jackie, hands down.
But then all night it was, are you we could be talking about anything. Well, she could be talking about anything with Eric, and all you hear is, but I'm still the scary one, but I'm sure it's not me.
Because it's not right, honest.
No.
It's like I'm not the scariest and I'm also not the favorite. It's Crystal.
No.
No, it's
no.
okay. It's okay.
Everyone-
It's okay, Sissy.
Yeah, like you can't deny your uncle continuously saying, "These are my heart.
Yeah.
These two right here are my heart."
My day
Take a
one.
photo with me. Oh, we're off.
Even telling him the wrong time that you were flying out.
Wait, don't.
Oh, what an exposing bitch!
That was that one. Yeah.
Wow. All right, thank you, Pano, for having me. It's been great.
It's okay. He doesn't have Facebook, does he?
I wouldn't even care if he did.
But he's got too many
But-
accounts to even get in, so it's okay.
Wait, so he messages me, what time do you fly out? And I'm like, oh, 7 o'clock. I said, okay, I'm going to come. I'm like, oh, yeah, 7 p.m. So what time are you going to the airport? I said, 5. 5, I'll be at the airport. And then I got back on and he messaged, what are you doing? I'm coming to the airport. I said, oh, Uncle, I've already gone home. My flight was at 7 in the morning. I got it wrong. Sorry, because I thought I want him to come and cry all over my clothes again.
But there's a second part to that story, because let's just clarify who was meant to bring him to the airport.
Yeah, Ruth.
No, yeah. When you said that, I was like, ah, crap. And then on the next day, he was like, oh, how are you? And he goes, and I was like, yeah. And then he goes, oh, Vic's going to the airport tonight. Are you coming? Can you take me? And I was like, she's already home. Like, she's already gone.
She already knew I was gone.
What a- that-
Poor me. It's
Okay,
not
man.
being mean. It's just being mean politely. Sorry, yeah, it is being mean, but
but in a
Yeah.
nicer way to you.
it's a nice way to be mean. See, I can be nice, right? Trying to make the mean one.
Yeah, we all hold on, producer. Can you answer the question about who you think the scary one is?
You.
No.
Mohi.
Who's your Who's the scariest auntie or uncle to you, Alia? Out of all of them that you know. Well, basically on our side, your dad's side first.
Nanny.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's
that.
Nanny A.
No, that's out of the grandparents. Just pick anyone.
Oh, it's Auntie Jackie.
Oh, is that?
Oh,
That's Dakota.
kia ora,
That's
boy.
Auntie Jackie, he said.
Oh, kia ora.
Oh,
You want to explain why Uncle Dom's in your line and I'm not?
so,
You're my MC.
so we, just to clear things up, we were somehow talking about weddings and who would have in our lines, and Dakota like literally went from the morning of his of his wedding day all the way to the end. He's gonna have like what is it, 10K on the bar? Do you reckon?
Oh, they were off to another one and then 15 grand on the
10 grand on the bar.
Just gotta get a girlfriend.
Oh, I'm like, holy.
Hold on. Producer, say that again.
He's gotta get a girlfriend first.
Correct, darling, correct.
You roasted the cousin.
He's like, he was literally, he doesn't come in our room and talk. He doesn't even talk to us out of the room. He's lying on the bed, just having a good old yarn about his wedding, his line, his MC, who's not on his table.
Wow, I wonder
Wait,
who's
so there's no
I wonder
wedding?
who's not getting an invite.
Sorry, Ruth.
Oh, we're in about 100 people.
Yeah, he reckons, oh, I'm going to invite 200 people. Oh, wait, no, that's too many. 100.
Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on, you two.
What were you saying, Ruth?
No, I actually thought there was a wedding, by the way. So there's no wedding?
So Mohi is engaged for the past how many years now?
I don't know,
6 years.
5 years.
Whoa, yeah. Well, there's a wedding there, but it's still coming.
Yeah, next year.
2025.
2026.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wait, let's ask Chantal. She might be over you by then.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, anything else, Rebecca?
No, it was great. It was great to see everyone.
You know what Mohi
And
just found
hopefully
out?
the next time.
Do you know what Mohi just found out?
What?
So he called us in the siblings chat on the Thursday, right? When you were at Nan's grave.
Don't you expose
And
him,
then,
bitch.
and then he goes, he sent the message and goes, oh, that's Papa Lewis and Nana Debbie. I need to find out. Mum said, that's not her. it's Nana, it's Auntie Annie. And he's like,
Where'd it go?
he's like for having an argument with her in the car. And then she goes, no, it's not Moy. Go check his Facebook. And then 2 minutes later, he just starts laughing. I said, you got it wrong, ain't you? And he goes, yep.
Right.
I just want to say, just in case any of her children or anyone is watching, sorry, Auntie. Sorry, Uncle.
Man. And they thought you were normal. Bruh.
No,
I had just gone through all these years thinking they were both named Debbie.
that's what happens when you go on the plane and you land thinking you're like Komatua and everything.
I felt like one. Felt like one with my not forgetting who people were. Yeah, but I was full on asking Mum, like arguing with Mum. She's like, "No, that's not her name." I was like, "Yes, it is."
Now, so do you have anything to say to Mum?
He didn't even say sorry in the car.
What?
Just publicly? Just apologize?
No, I told her she was right.
Yeah, but that doesn't say, oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that's good enough.
The whole time she was here too, nothing.
What?
Friday. That's when it happened. Hey, Friday. Was it?
Friday, yeah.
Yeah, we went to the mall. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a big deal, ladies and gentlemen.
Not the favorite anymore now, boy.
Well, I think that changed after the first night she was here.
I think it did.
But anyway. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Becca.
Should we
Thanks for
tell that story?
clarifying. No, shut your mouth.
Well, he got in trouble because he wanted to go bowling.
All right. Thanks, Becca. See you later.
No, but honest, bye.
Bye.
Bye, Susie.
All right. If there's anything that I could pass on to all the fun, don't have sisters on any kind of platform with you.
Wait, aren't you going to have a sibling one? I think so.
That'll be cool.
Well,
That'll be
See?
cool.
look, I think the more that we build into things like this, like Ruth wasn't obviously planning on being on this, and then I think she said yes when Crystal said yes, and then Crystal obviously pulled out, and then I honestly expected you to pull out too, because I thought, oh, maybe she might not do it. Yeah, I was thinking about it, but then when you said, "Oh, do you still want me on?" I was like, "Okay." Like,
Or Dakota, you could be on the Sunday one because you'll be here. Look, he
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
Unc and Neff.
yeah, okay, we'll see. But is there anything that you wanted to say or cover up before we signed off?
Me? No, but thank you for having me on. And thank you also just for the time that we had. Yeah, I appreciated that. And it did feel like there was no time passed as well. And so I wish you all the best for your podcast. And nice. I only remember meeting Becca and Jackie. I don't know if Jackie knows who I am, but Jackie's face is the only one that I remember out of Uncle.
Oh, it's hard not to forget. It's hard not to remember that face.
I don't know if I would notice her today, but those were the only two that I knew of. So it was nice to meet you, Irina. And and I've met Harmony. She was at my dad's 50th. She was the other one in the photo. So yeah, thank you for allowing me to come on. And I just wanted to say too, for the whānau that do watch this, like, I love you all, and I'm so proud of the people that you are today. And I'm looking forward to getting to know you and to be able to, just make our own memories that I can actually remember. And yeah, I'm grateful to the Lord for the family that He's given me. And I can't wait to get to know you all better. But yeah, and that's, I'm not being cheesy or anything, I'm being honest. So yeah, thank you for this platform. Normal people just call on phones, not go on live. But we'll do what we got. But yeah, thank you for inviting me. My mom's
No,
like a
that's okay.
broadcaster, and she hasn't invited me on her podcast or anything. So thanks.
Does she do a podcast?
She still has one now. Yeah, but I mean, she lives in Raro. But yeah, she's
What's
had
it called?
Te Invangiria? Like
Okay,
then,
so
yeah, it's thing. But yeah, that one is like a Christian one. But yeah, it's you. I was gonna say, yeah, you are related, but no, you're not related. Yeah. Sorry.
no, yeah, you're definitely up on those. But no, just on behalf of, I guess, I suppose, is thanks for jumping on with us. Like I said, I know it was kind of last minute, and we didn't really kind of talk because we don't like to plan here. Yeah, really appreciate not only you being on tonight, but obviously our time together over in New Zealand and having the opportunity to connect. I'm sure, well, again, you have no choice but to stay in contact with us. But I'm looking forward to kind of what's next in terms of our relationship, not only ours, but mine and my sisters and all that kind of stuff, and the cousins and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully we can get everyone together on an episode and we can talk and just mock our parents like we do all the time. But
Yeah, so add me back.
oh, you want to be back? But until next time, we appreciate you jumping on, and yeah, we will definitely catch up soon.
Cool. I don't know
yeah,
how to
do your job, producer. Like, seriously.
Bye.
That was that awkward.
No,
Sorry.
what are you doing? No, no.
Not the wrong one, Alia.
Remove. Like, oh, doing a good job, producer. But yeah, another thank you to our cousin Ruth for jumping on. Really enjoyed that, actually. It was a pretty good chat. And hopefully, like I said, we have a cousins one. We're still trying to get a siblings one up and running too. I'm sure that would be eventful. But like I said, we've got quite a bit planned. There may be some weekends where we don't, because it's all a timing thing around getting people on. But yeah, for all of those who watch, whether you watch it now or watch it later, we appreciate your support. To be continued. There's a lot coming, so please hang around, keep that support going. Like, share, subscribe. I don't know if that's a thing.
No, it is, but we've never said it. But you know what you haven't done?
What?
Is your sponsor.
No, I was kidding. Yeah, that's how I'm going to end the show.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so what we do want to do, is there anything before we sign off?
No, I think I said everything already.
All right. Well, for those who are watching, if you can read the bottom of the screen there, this episode or the podcast in general and the page is proudly brought to you by our team at Mad Hatter Concepts. So for all your embroidery needs, screen printing, anything to do with your uniforms and wanting to make spectacular garments, please get a hold of the team at Mad Hatter Concepts, www.madhatterconcepts.net. You can find their number on Google. And thanks again for the support to Dale and the team. So until next week or whenever we decide to jump on again, we hope you have a great week. We look forward to catching up with you all again soon. Until then.
See ya.